What's up, party people? It's Jeff here with my friend Lakan. Say hi, Lakan.
Was good.
And today's a little different. We're doing a very special episode of Party XP. Just like every other media entity, we're wrapping up the year, going over the last few episodes that we've had throughout the year, picking our favorites, picking what we're looking forward to in 2023 and everything in between. So, how's everything going, Lakan? What's been going on?
It's been going pretty good. Work is kind of starting to slow down a little bit because end of the year stuff, right? Not as many things coming through to have to work through, and just kind of prepping and enjoying the slowdown around this time of the year. Also looking forward to the new year, so I'm like prepping for if we want to have like I think I'm having like a couple get-togethers that I'm gonna be bouncing around between, so I'm gonna be doing those as well. So yeah, I mean nothing crazy, but like it's kind of like a relaxing way to end the year, basically.
For sure. Yeah, it's always nice when the holidays kind of kick up and everything sort of slows down a little bit and nobody's really expecting much from you at work and the only
Yeah.
things you have to really look forward to are, taking care of your family and your friends during the holidays and all that and celebrating and seeing people. It's a nice time of year. I give Christmas and this whole time of year a lot of crap just because I worked retail for so long.
Oh
But
yeah.
when you think about it, it is just about being together and celebrating family and love and friendship and
And all that
all that.
mushy
I know all
BS.
that mushy crap.
Yeah. I mean, another thing too is the holiday parties. That's always like a nice thing. It's just free food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's
like
true.
like I don't celebrate Crimbless, but like but I will gladly take free dinner every couple nights.
I will take your free stuff.
Yes, please, thank
Merry
you.
Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa,
Kwanzaa,
Happy
Festivus,
Festivus,
all that
everything
stuff.
in between.
Yeah, exactly,
Hmm
everything. Just give me just whatever. If you got a plate for me, I will thank you for that as well. Yeah, I had actually, speaking of which, I had eggnog for the first time in my life a couple weeks ago.
Oh, how was that?
Uh, I don't hate it. It's a
Uh,
little weird. Like, are you a fan of eggnog?
no.
Okay, so like, you know what coquito is?
Yeah.
So like, coquito is like the better eggnog to me. Like, it's like the same type of deal, right? It's kind of like a milky, cinnamon, sweet dessert, drinky kind of deal, right?
hmm
Um, it's just like because I think it's made with egg, obviously, right? Like it's kind of like it's like having like a custard versus like an ice cream, right? The custard has like a very rich like texture to it because it's made out of with egg.
Right.
Like eggnog is just very rich. It's like it's like imagine like having like whole milk and then having just thickening that bitch up. That's what this like texture wise is like. This is kind of weird. The flavor is not terrible. Like I've had that flavor. I think like maybe like a every flavored jelly bean type of deal, or like
Right.
or maybe like something that's like holiday themed candy item. So okay, so I've had this flavor. I didn't realize that was eggnog, and it was. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think it's fine. I've heard it's better with alcohol, and I put a little bit of the Jack Daniel's apple into it. Kind of nice. Tastes like an apple crumble. I really enjoyed that
Mm.
one. Yeah, that's but like it by itself, I'm like it's just too thick and it's a weird drink. I'd rather drink. You know what I would do though? If you could thin that bitch up and throw some tapioca balls in it.
Of course. Of course, you turn it into bubble tea.
Yeah, exactly. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. Honestly, you know what? Kung Fu tea or Gongcha or whatever, not sponsored. Yo, get on that. Make an eggnog with boba in it. Let me try that bitch out.
Or you get started and you make the eggnog with boba,
Yeah,
and you're the king of
I'm the king.
holiday milk tea.
Exactly. I've cornered the market for the 1 month of the year that everyone wants it.
Ugh. God bless anybody who likes eggnog, though. All the power to you. It's like putting pineapple on pizza. It's like all the other strange peanut butter and bananas. I don't know.
Pineapple on pizza, I do enjoy occasionally. It's not my favorite thing, but like I do like it on pizza.
Go off. That's all I'll say. Enjoy. Just don't force me to eat it.
I'm just
But
gonna
go off.
I'm just gonna throw all my food takes out here now so that I can get canceled now, and then the new year starts. I can just I can just start up new again. How about you? Anything new with you for the holidays?
And now just trying to get all my gifts in order, and I'm trying to
Mm.
get in as much gaming as possible. I was actually home this weekend for the first time in 2 weeks,
Oh, look at
and
you.
I know it'll be the last time I'll be home for an extra 2 weekends because, of course, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
we're going to be busy.
With
So, we
your fam and the wife's fam as well too, right?
yeah. So it's nice to just have a day where you just sit at home and, look, I plowed through a lot of Pokemon Scarlet today. I started playing South Park Stick of Truth again,
Nice.
just trying to enjoy some gaming sessions here. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
Yeah, I've been doing actually nothing about doing a little bit of it as well too because I busted out my Vita again just because I was like I have some money in my PlayStation account.
Hmm.
So let me pick up some stuff that's like good for me to pick up and play on the go, right? So I picked up like two more Vita exclusive games, and then I picked up
Right.
a copy, or I picked up the digital download of Tron Bonds, Misadventure to Tron Bond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's funny because I have physical copies of Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, and Tron Bond. If any collectors out there know about the Mega Man 3D like Legends game series, Tron Bond is insanely expensive.
Hmm.
And it's a pain to find. You don't find very much of them out in the wild. It was a very low run game, and one shop near me had two of them. One of which was going for $900 with a sealed Prima strategy guide, and
Yeah, I'm
then,
good.
and then the other one was selling just the game itself, jewel case, $400. The Primo strategy guide one sold, which
Jeez,
is
man.
wild. So like now I'm like looking at the $400 one. It's like, uh-oh, if the almost $1,000 one sold, I might have to pick up the $400 one just like I can get it because I know for sure I can get it right now. You know what I mean? So I'm just
You
like,
have
oh,
the game. You have the
just
game.
stop
There's
hunting.
no.
But
Yep.
it's part of the collection. That's like my grail. You know what I mean? That's the thing that
I know,
that's
man.
the one that I want. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe in like a week or two, I'll swing by. If it's there, I pick it up. I just pull the trigger right then and there. If not, I'm back on the hunt again, which is not great because then it's just gonna keep climbing in price, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Now, from the people that I've talked to, though, and I will give a little insider information here. This gaming bubble might burst pretty soon, so maybe just hold off for a little bit, and as people start selling their collections again, and moving away from all of this, maybe you'll pick it up for a cheaper price.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so, right? I mean, like this year was the year I got back into like, well, not like this year, but like I guess it was like end of last year, technically, right?
Hmm.
Was the year I really got back into like video game collecting and like kind of like catching up on certain games that I haven't that I have missed out on, essentially.
Leave it in.
Yeah, I'm doing a pretty good job so far myself of muting myself before I clear myself. That one snuck up on me as I was mid sentence, and I had no chance of backing out of that one. So sorry, listener, if that's extremely loud or
Nope.
just gross.
Nope.
But like last year, me and Buffa started doing like video game hunts and hitting up all these game stores, and it's kind of like a nice thing for me and him to do on the weekends, especially because we haven't had the chance to hang out for a while, right?
Right.
And eventually became like once every week, once every other week or so, we would just go to a game shop and hunt for shit, and then like I would basically fill out my collection of games that I had when I was a kid and lost them, or we had bootlegs of them and I want an official copy. Or Gabe and I had a collection of games back in the day, and unfortunately, a bunch of them got stolen. So like I was trying to like
Yeah.
rebuild that collection, and then it was around the same time I want to say, or maybe a little bit before that, technically, I guess, was during that whole like WADA and the grading of games type of thing started happening, and like
Right.
the like from my understanding from Buffa, the price already started inflating, like in terms of like the collect like gaming collectible stuff, like 2020, right? Because everyone's getting the free money, free government money.
Right. And the other thing too is now everybody had time to look at their collections and be like, well, what do I have here?
Yeah,
And is anything worth money? Or like you said, hey, I'm getting my Biden bucks or whoever Trump
Trump bucks,
bucks.
still, yeah, at the time, yeah.
Can I get well, what can I buy with this that's just going to make me feel better as the world spirals into chaos?
Yeah, exactly. So like the game started coming up in price again, WADA, and like the graded game stuff came out. And remember that copy of Super Mario 1, the game that everybody and their mother owns, sold for like 3
Hmm.
million. I was like, no, first off, that's bullshit. Like there's no reason for that to be that expensive because everyone has it. You can find it like right now. You can probably go to like a regular ass like garage sale and find a copy of it. It's not a hard game to find. It's so strange.
Maybe
And
our first episode should be about money laundering for
yeah,
2023.
exactly. This is how we got into money laundering. We've done it for 2 weeks. How do you feel about it, Jeff?
Well, I sold a copy of Super Mario Brothers for $3 million.
Oh,
So
there you go. Good. So, guys, we're ending the podcast.
please note this is all reckless speculation. This is not any sort of legal podcasting or legal speculation or
Yeah,
anything like that.
yeah, none of that. We're absolutely just a bunch of
We're just two guys from New Jersey talking shit
yeah.
into a
We're
microphone.
we're a pair of shitters here. We're just bullshitting here at this point. But yeah, I mean, like so like during this whole game hunting thing, it's just like it became so much harder to find all this stuff, basically. And it's still a fun thing to do, right? Just get to go out, hit up a cool bunch of game stores, talk to some cool people. It's kind of like for you, right? You got back into card games. Was it like physical card
Right.
games this year?
Yeah. Yeah. So Yu-Gi-Oh came back into my life in more than one way, and that was also including the physical card game too. So yeah, it was just like you said, it was fun to go on the hunt. It was fun to put everything together, and it's fun to play in person with people too. Like that's the other cool part about games and card games and video games in general, is being able to play with someone in the same room. And that was what that was what I wanted to do. So I did it. And I have had a lot of fun since. I mean, it's, obviously busy season now, so I haven't had a chance to really play, but it's been fun to get back and start playing card games with people again in person.
Yeah, I mean, like even a bunch of the shops we would go to around Jersey, right? Some of them would be have like a dedicated space for card stuff, right? They had like a back
Right.
room for tabletop players and card players, and then some stores would be like more card focused with like a slight, a small section for video games, for like collectible video games, which is kind of cool as well. Obviously, it's not our type of store, like because me and Buff are mostly focused on the video game aspect, right? But there would be an occasional time where I go to a store and they have a decent Magic the Gathering collection. I'm like, hey, do you have Garuk Unleashed? Like, do you let me pick up? Let me pick as it goes for like $2. I was like, I'll pick up one up. You know what I mean? Or like I bought
Right.
I bought a Primeval Titan for like $6, I think it was. I don't even. The thing is, I don't even know the pricing anymore for like Magic the Gathering cards. So I was like, I'll just pay
Right.
as long as it's not outlandish. I'll buy a card. You know what I mean? Especially if they have it. But yeah, that scene is like it's cool. It's cool to see it again. Unfortunately, all the places that for me, actually, it's probably a point I'm going to bring up later, but we'll talk about it a little bit. But for me, it's like I'm I'm a Magic the Gathering guy, and a lot of the shops that we ended up going to, a lot of them were Yu-Gi-Oh spots. So it's just like, oh man, like I see like a couple people playing Magic the Gathering, but like a lot of the shops we would go to, we see a lot way more Yu-Gi-Oh going on than MTG, which is it's fine. Whatever, play the game that you enjoy. This is like I wish there was more of a scene for it, I guess, around where we are.
Yeah, it is. It's a regional thing. Card games are all regional, dude. Like, so it's just about finding the spot that's playing Magic, because I know a lot of places that don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. They play everything else, though.
Yeah, and like a lot of the Magic spots that I know of are smaller. You know what I mean? They're more like comic shops is where you'll find Magic the Gathering crowd. At least from what I'm understanding. Like comic shops and like tabletop like board game shops is where I see more of a Magic the Gathering crowd. It might be, maybe it's because of the like the D&D / tabletop scene that kind of like interplays with the Magic the Gathering Wizard of the Coast type of deal, right? That's my assumption essentially.
I think you're right. I think you're spot on, because I do think that there's a lot of crossover between tabletop players and people that like Magic the Gathering, because it's similar art. Think about all the lore. Isn't there a Magic tabletop game?
I don't. Yeah, there is actually. There's a board game. I know that for sure. I own that one. Never played it. I bought it. I bought it used for $15, and I was like, I'll take it. Why not? Haven't had the chance to play it yet. But the thing is, especially with Magic the Gathering, like they do a lot of collaborations now with Dungeons and Dragons. So Dungeons and Dragons, it helps them because like Dungeons and Dragons obviously isn't as marketable. Like they don't have the marketable characters essentially, right?
Right.
So adding that availability for like like having like the planeswalkers or like these major like characters or factions within the Magic the Gathering world allows Dungeons and Dragons to have more of like a like think about Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Or like Pokemon, right? Like if you think Pokemon, exactly, everyone thinks Pikachu, Jigglypuff, like Charizard. Everyone thinks of those right off the bat, right? You have something, Lucario. For Yu-Gi-Oh, everyone thinks of like Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, the Red Eyes, any of the major like things that have been shown off in the anime. There's something marketable there, right? Dungeons and Dragons doesn't exactly have that. It's because it's more of like
Right.
it's a free formed kind of game in terms of like how the player base is, right?
You make your own characters, right?
Make your own characters, and in the omnibus there's specific characters, but it's like only the DM really gets to be that character essentially because they're rolling for it, right? You know what I mean? Like they're the ones playing as that character, so you don't really get the rest of the player base to kind of like. I'm not. I'm also like I'm a very much so like a very out of play like D&D player here, but like from my
Right.
understanding, there's not a whole lot of like major notable characters within the D&D world for like even more casual players than me. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna find a character that someone's just gonna pick up right off the bat. And like, oh, I know exactly where that's from. Unless you watch Stranger Thing, right? I think there's a couple characters in there that are very like popular, but very very popular specifically just because of Stranger Things.
Could fool me, man.
Yeah, you never
I've
got into
never
it.
seen a minute of Stranger Things. Not a minute.
Yeah, I've been recommended it a lot. I still haven't gone around to it. It's on Netflix. I should just watch it. It's right there.
Well, maybe we'll talk about it next year. But for
Yeah,
now,
maybe.
let's get into this. You actually did the legwork here, so thank you for doing so.
All me.
And yep, it's all you. And you put together sort of our end of the year things to focus on here. So you started off here. Personal favorite episode. I know mine. What's yours?
Personal favorite episode for me would either be VTubers or John Wick.
Yeah.
Like it feels a little biased, right? Because I picked two of my episodes, but
Right.
but in actuality,
That's okay.
it was like we VTubers was specifically like it's a thing that I'm down the rabbit hole on, right? I'm the only one in our group, and like
Right.
within our specific circle of friends, I am the only one down this VTuber rabbit hole, and I tried making some connections to it, with like the rest of the group, and people they kind of like I feel like they just kind of like humor me and like just read it and like move along kind of deal, right? They tolerate it,
Right.
but like trying to bring you into the world of it and kind of connecting it, especially to something that you relate to very, very much, right? You're a big fan of pro wrestling. You understand, and you're able to actually like talk to me about like why is it that these two things are kind of similar. So
They are. It's funny how similar they are too.
yeah, and then we talked about the idea of the part of the it's really good for like inclusivity, right? There's a lot of people who
Yes.
may not feel like their appearance reflects on who they are as a person type of deal. So it's a good thing for them, especially we mentioned this Iron Mouse is the one we mentioned before. She's literally like bedridden. I don't know if we were talking about it in a recording, but she's like literally like sick with CVID, like
Hmm.
immunity deficiency, and she's basically just stuck in her bed in her bed all day, and she's able to like stream to thousands of people on a regular basis, who support her, as a content creator, financially, emotionally, all that stuff, right? And it's great that she can still be a streamer, and like like no one kind of like, and just, it kind of like gives you a different perspective on her. And then the John Wick episode for me was awesome because you've never seen it,
Right.
and then I was able to get another person into the John Wick fandom because the John Wick fucking rules.
It ruled.
And it was just like a way for us to watch Keanu Reeves and all of his awesome gun and jujitsu training just murdering a bunch of dudes. It was awesome. Just like it was go from one end of like the more like nuanced side of it to just John Wick just murdering everyone. That was a good episode for me. I very much so enjoyed that episode.
Right.
And we now that you are kind of like now you're kind of in the sphere of it, we can watch the rest of them, and then hopefully I'm really excited for John Wick 4 next year. So that's why I'm just like, let's go. I'm more in for it.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
So again, I'll sort of mirror your picks here. It's got to be either Cooking Companions or Doom because again, I love Doom. Doom has, I don't want to say ruined, but like we talked about it, Doom's basically ruined games for me because now all I want to do is just charge ahead and beat the shit out of everything, right?
Yeah.
Because of Doom. But you saw how easy it is to fall in love with that game, and even like Doom Eternal's even better. And I can't wait to give you Doom Eternal one of these weeks because I feel like you're really going to enjoy that even more. Cooking Companions was fun because I knew what I was getting into, and you had no idea.
Nah.
Just similar to that John Wick, where you get to indoctrinate somebody new into something that you really enjoy. It just so happens that yours was about neo-noir murder porn, and mine was cooking with your friends, literally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that was to be fair, that was like our second episode, right? And then I think that was like genuinely like one of the more fun episodes that we recorded as well too. Just
I
because
think
like
so.
we like there's a little bit of speculation going on, but for the most part, we got to see everything anyway, right?
Yeah.
And then, funnily enough, actually, we ended up watching a VTuber slash PNG tuber on Twitch a couple weeks ago, right? Who was playing Cooking Companion for the first time.
Uh-huh. And that was fun.
That was a fun, yeah, it was a fun watch. She was an Indonesian VTuber. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm actually gonna open it up right so we can credit her actually because
Yeah.
we did watch the entire stream. Like we should have just watched the entire
Yeah,
straight
we
up.
were there all morning. I see her pop up on Twitter all the time. Hang on, let me go find her too, because
Yeah,
like you said, she was she was really funny. She was really a good watch, and I feel bad. I just haven't been able to watch her again. Here she is, Kuraraku.
Kuraraku.
So shout outs to Kuraraku. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good watch. She's a Indonesian, I believe I believe she was Indonesian. But she spoke English during the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kuraraku. There we go. Kuraraku underscore specifically. For his Twitch channel. So Kuraraku.
Mm-hmm.
She played through the entirety of Cooking Companions, and it was actually kind of cool for us because I think around that time the DLC had just come out, right?
It had been out for a little
Or a
bit,
little bit,
right?
and I haven't gotten around to it yet. So when
Mm-hmm.
she played it, it was actually kind of cool because it went straight into the DLC.
I
So
did think that was pretty
so I
cool.
was like, oh, perfect. Now I mean, I was gonna play it, but I might as well just watch her play through it as well since she's kind of getting the same experience that I was at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a fun watch. It was watching her get spooked and all this other stuff. It was a good time.
And then slowly come to realize what the story's actually about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, I told you, it's cooking with your friends.
And then everything's Daijobu. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. You're thinking
Mm-hmm.
too much about it. Just she would kind of go in, get lulled in a little bit, and then jump scare or something would come out. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good watch.
All
Uh,
right. So now, favorite episode suggested to you. So would you like? You know what? I think we'll alternate
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So it may shock you, but all things considered, I have to go Katana Zero here.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
Katana Zero had everything. It was a fun game. It had brilliant music. The gameplay was excellent. Uh, you know, it had a great story, great twist at the end. I really enjoyed Katana Zero, and I enjoyed a lot of the games that I played. Given from you, right? So like Helltaker was a lot of fun, and John Wick, of course, was fantastic. Spelunky was also a lot of fun, and getting to play that in like cooperatively was a lot of fun too. But I think all things considered it, and even Deep Rock Galactic was a lot of fun. But I think all things considered, Katana Zero is my top choice.
Word. I'm pretty happy. I suggested that one to you. And it's kind of funny because that one again was like what five episodes in, and then it's funny because like John Wick is basically just that with a gun instead.
Yeah, basically in a suit instead of a traditional Japanese garment.
Or a bathrobe, as everyone else is calling it
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah. Well, if you don't know any better,
Yeah,
it is a bathrobe. But anything you want to say about Katana Zero? Anything?
Again, man, Katana Zero is a fantastic game. I remember like I was looking forward to this game before it came out because I was following it from a YouTuber, Bob Wolf. His channel's The Wolf Den. He's a very large content creator. He used to do a lot of Switch stuff, but now he's doing more like general gaming stuff, weird emulators and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He branched out. Good for him. And he's pretty big. He's actually based in New York. I think he's in Long Island. I think he's in Long Island now. I've been trying to meet that dude actually for a couple like for like the last like 2 years now because like, he's been going to conventions again finally. Obviously because things are starting to open up here.
Right.
Like he went to Comic-Con, he went to PAX, and I didn't see him at PAX. I wanted to go to like Long Island RetroCon, I think it was called, and I didn't get to see him there either, unfortunately, because I wasn't able to go. Haven't seen him yet, so I'm just like, oh, that sucks. I actually want to meet the dude. He's pretty funny. His humor is very much kind of like ours, kind of crass, tri-state New Jersey, New York style humor, right? Just like angry,
Hell yeah.
just like angry Italianish, kind of like humor complaining. So like, actually, yeah, I think you should check him out. I think he's probably up your alley too in terms of like the way he reviews stuff as well. Yeah, like I was listening to him talk about Katana Zero because he tried it at PAX a couple of years ago, and then when it finally came out, he was like all about it. Like he was talking all about that, and I think it's was it Cyber Shadow? He was talking about those two a lot. So I was like,
Mm.
let me try Katana Zero first because this looks very cool, very flowy. I got a burp. Hold on 1 second.
Leave it in. Leave it all in. Get it all out. Purge your demons.
Katana Zero was really really cool in like explanation. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll trust him on this one. I'll buy it, and I'm so glad I did because that game fucking rules.
Me.
It's a relatively short, sweet experience, right? A couple dialogue options and a cool like hidden-ish boss battle, right? You have to do some specific conversation choices for that one, dialogue choices. But
Right.
yeah, for the most part, that game it wraps up pretty sweetly in like what 4 or 5 hours ish.
Yeah, I was probably about 5 or 6 hours in, and it was nice and tight. Really well done story. Really well done gameplay.
And yeah,
Never felt like it dragged
and it
on.
just flows. Like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of like the runs, essentially like the runs in that in like each level is like you want to be like the most efficient killer, essentially, right? That's
Hmm.
why you are literally the protagonist of like an action movie, like again like a John Wick or a gun fu type type of deal where you're just murdering everyone. You move along essentially unscathed. Yeah, great game. Love that game, and I'm glad you enjoyed that one so much.
For sure. All right. So, what was your favorite thing that I recommended to you?
I'm gonna join you on the Doom 2016
Hell yeah.
wagon here. Doom 2016 again, same kind of deal, right? You were just the harbinger of death here.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Just now you were a dude in armor with a shotgun instead of a sword.
Giga Chad Space Marine.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good game. Again, I'm glad we ended up getting it on PC afterwards as well too, so I can get to try it out and see how it feels on a mouse and keyboard because I
1,000% better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And but even then, as I mentioned it a lot of times during the initial recording, June 2016 still plays really really well. It looks really really good on consoles. Looks great. It is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, gameplay wise, it was really really fun. Again, it's kind of like an arena, right? It's an arena shooter essentially, right? It's so
Right.
so like there's the roots of that in that type of game and my type of like experience growing up as a console controller player, having to kind of go back to it and be like, oh yeah, this is like my roots, right? As like as like a shooting as a FPS enjoyer.
Right. Fast paced arena shooter, but you're a single player, right? So you're not fighting against other people. You're fighting against computer controlled, demons. But still, like you said, that skill set translates very well to Doom being a fast paced shooter confined into a room, a single room in most cases. And so, yeah, I'm thrilled you enjoyed it. I figured you would because it's hard not to enjoy a game like this that's just go 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 action,
Yeah, yeah.
metal, blood, gun, kill, fun little pop figures that you find in under a rock
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's always kind of funny because like the game is so hyper violent, and then you see him find one of his little figurines, and he like handles it so daintily.
Right, he starts playing with it a little bit, puts it in
Yeah,
his pocket very gently,
yeah,
and then he rips something's face off in the next room.
yeah. It was absolutely a good time. We talked about the music obviously as well for that as well too. Like during that, I think was that our first episode where I created different music for it.
Yeah, I think so. So you went above and beyond for that. So props to you. That
Yeah,
was
thank
a
you.
really awesome intro, and that tickled my fancy because, of course, I love he- heavy metal music and that style. So I thought it was really good that you put that together
Yeah,
for us.
I tried my best to have something kind of heavy and metally sounding. Unfortunately, I am no Mick Gordon. I am unfortunately do not have his level.
Nobody is, to be
Yeah,
fair.
to be fair, nobody is right. But I just kind of like did something a little relatively in that type of like heavy metal scheme, and I was pretty happy how it turned out. It took me a little while to get around to it, but I felt pretty happy to do that one. Yeah, actually, speaking of which, actually, and it's weird because I know we eventually want to get me into Doom Eternal, right? And we've been holding
Yes.
off on purpose because of it. And it's just like I remember like the last couple of weeks have been like nonstop with Mick Gordon, id, is it, yeah, id, yeah, id Software, right?
id Software is the company that made
Yeah,
it, right? But
and just the id Software controversy now. It's just like what the, god damn it.
I know it's just some of these suits can't get out of their own way
Yeah, and then I was
as to what
and then I,
people really would enjoy.
and then it's funny because like I'm I keep hearing from a lot of people that the music in Doom Eternal doesn't hold up in some aspects because of it.
Nonsense.
But
Absolute
but the
nonsense.
issue but the it's more just like I guess people who are more I guess more specifically followers of Mick because they can hear Mick's music and then versus like them realizing there's the in-house musician who's trying to imitate Mick. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I guess people who are specifically fans of Mick can hear that. I am still relatively new as a fan of his, so maybe I'm not able to pick it up right away. So maybe I'll get when we get around to it, I'll see if I can nitpick to see if I can hear it. You know?
For sure.
But yeah, eventually, Doom Eternal will probably on the on the list eventually. But for now, yeah, Doom 2016 probably my favorite episode that you've suggested to me.
Great. So here's a fun one. What's your least enjoyed thing that I've given you? I think I have an idea, but please tell me.
Okay, so my least enjoyed suggestion for me. So it actually wasn't this initially, and then it flipped very, very recently. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be
I
Yu-Gi-Oh!
actually was not I didn't have an issue with it for a while. Actually, I was actually relatively happy that I played it, and because kind of gave me a different perspective on the game, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh! Being having the digital version to play this game, right? I played a couple weeks afterwards, and then I got frustrated with the pacing of the game, which I mentioned, because everything is so fast and aggressive that it feels like there's no time to let anything play out. The game is essentially over in 5 turns.
Yeah. The thing that I kick myself, and I don't know why the hell we didn't do it, but we should have played some games. I know we wanted to because we wanted to do it for the YouTube, and schedules just didn't line up and all that. But I think it would have benefited. We really would have benefited from having a Spelunky-esque, Deep Rock Galactic-esque play session between the two of us.
Yeah. I think it would have as well, and just to help explain things as well. But again, it's just I think it's just specifically for me. Again, I'm a Magic the Gathering boomer. Like that's just my preferred card game style, right? It's a little bit slower, can be played fast, but like again, just kind of lets the game play out a little bit faster, play out a little bit more before things start getting really, really hectic. Again, I'm not gonna say it's a bad game, but like it's just that like for me, in terms of like my overall enjoyment, I want to say that was the thing I enjoyed the least of. I didn't have a problem with it for a while, and then just the week or two after our episode release, again, I play most of these things after the episode releases.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue to give this thing another. I will try my best to give things shots to hook me. And again, I was fine until like I want to say my 3rd or 4th game in, it started getting to that sweaty deck feel again, where like everyone was just trying to win in turn 2, and I was like, okay, cool, yep, this is why I don't like this game as much as I thought I did.
What was it before Master Duel?
Before that, I want to say it wasn't more of like a disliked deal, but it was more.
Is it a future callback? Is it going to be a future callback situation where it's going to be something that we're going to release next week?
No, it's like it was more just like it's more just like again like I guess I just didn't get it. For that was going to be pro wrestling.
Okay.
Again, it's just like. As a kid, I enjoyed it, and like maybe in a group, I can enjoy it as much more because it's more about the banter for us, right? It's more us shooting the shit and talking about it. But watching it on my own was genuinely a not fun experience.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, it's kind of like watching any sort of series in the middle because it's difficult. You can't really watch from like a starting point with this stuff, right? If you want to start from a starting point, you have to watch the first episode of the weekly television show, right?
Yeah.
So it's always tough when you're trying to jump into something that has so much, for the lack of a better term, lore associated with it, right?
Yeah, and especially because we talked about it in the episode. I believe we covered it, where who's the guy who's in charge of the production and the editing, and I just
Kevin Dunn in WWE.
I was just like, I don't like this. It just feels so like you're cutting into the middle of the action with a replay of something that just happened. And I get it. You're doing it for production, and you're trying to give the announcers time to breathe it out and try to explain what just happened, type of deal. But it's just like it just takes away from took away from my experience anyway. Overall for pro wrestling, again, it's like if you like it, you like it. That's cool. It's just not for me. I'd rather just watch combat sports at that point.
I got you.
What about you? Least enjoyed suggestion, and I know we've
take a shot in the dark.
Oh, let me see. John Wick.
Never in a million years. No, it was goddamn
Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Goddamn Crypt of the Necrodancer, most annoying game of all time, dude.
Oh man, the game is so good, man. I wish you liked it. I still play it to this day. Like it's still like one of my favorite pickup games, man.
And that's good. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy it, so I don't have to. It's fine.
I think
You know what? I will tell you this. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I will.
it'll,
Maybe on console I will.
maybe it'll just click one day. Yeah, but like I get it. Because you made your points very clear for it. For like you like each aspect, but together like it's just not good. Especially the dungeon crawling aspect, the dungeon roguelike aspect specifically of it.
Right.
Which I think for me it was hard to hear because like I definitely I listened back to that podcast and it was definitely me trying to like stick to the music point of like like, kind of like misunderstanding why it was right.
Right.
But like I get it, especially because it is like again it's one of those like without the music aspect, it's just a roguelike, right? And that type of roguelike, just like the dungeon crawling, careful because everything's gonna kill you type of feeling. It's like it's a very specific type of game that certain people like, and I really really enjoy that because it's like it's a pure difficulty thing, right? The game's super hard, so I have no choice but to get good at it, and like that's for me. It's like that's kind of like that's what it is for me. I want to get good at like games that are like essentially feel unfair to me until to the point where the game no longer feels unfair because I have essentially conquered it.
Right. Well, you do have another choice, and it's not playing it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
To be fair, there are games that I do play like that where I'm like, do I like this? You know what I mean? You know that feeling of like, do I like this or do I just have something in my head where I'm like I'm kind of forcing myself to play it type of deal. And I have had that a couple times with like certain games that I've bought for Switch. Like it's another roguelike game that I bought for the Switch. And it's like it's not a bad game, but it's like why would I play this when I can play a better version of this? You know what I mean? Which I have done. I'm like, yeah, this game's not that good, and then I realized it after dumping like I don't know, maybe 10 hours into it. Because again,
it's always the worst.
I want to get to that point of like again, like I don't know if it's just me or it's like, or am I just bad and that's why I don't like it? And then it takes a little while for me to figure that out personally, unfortunately. So I will dump more time than necessary to do that stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Crypt of the Neck. I will say though, if you didn't like Crypt of the Neck, I do suggest you try. It's hard for me to suggest it, right? But I would say at least maybe one day I will like let you grab my Switch, and I want you to try Cadence of Hyrule because it still has that music gameplay to it, but it's no longer the roguelike, and you have way more flexibility to it because it's closer to like a Zelda game, like a top down 2D Zelda game than it is to like Crypt of the Necrodancer, where it's like, oh, if you die, you die, right? This is like no, there's a respawn. The game continues on from that point on. Still, you just died basically.
Got it. Sure, why not? And I like the Zelda music, so why not? We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Next up, episode you'd like to redo or retcon. And so I don't think there's anything here that I'd particularly like to retcon, especially because me ranting for whatever it was, an hour and a half, is pretty funny content. I would tell you that I would like to redo Master Duel, and I would like to play some duels with you, so that at least you can like have some like a friendly person on the other side of the table that you're playing against, right? So I think that's kind of what I would want to redo versus anything else.
I could see that being a pretty good choice for that, actually, in that aspect. It would have been cool to play that a little bit more together. Again, just unfortunately, we're adults and we have schedule, we have life duties and we need to fulfill outside of just our passion project here, right?
Right.
Eventually, of course, if we would like to get this off the ground and move along the and progress it to a point where it can actually support us a little bit more. But for now, we have to live our regular lives still and just do this on the side, which is I'm perfectly fine with, honestly. But it's just like obviously it'd be nice to have more time to just be more free to do more of this stuff that we'd like to do.
Yeah, the other thing too is like I work a 9 to 5 and you work
a 9 to 5, just in the opposite
of the other ones, right? So it's difficult for the two of us to kind of. It's difficult to record anyway, especially now as my life kind of changes, and we'll get into that a little bit later, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a little difficult for me, but also on top of that, right? Like you said, we've got our hands in so many other things with day jobs and families and personal lives and all of that it is difficult to really find time to play games with each other anymore. Yeah, and that sucks, but
yeah, that's just kind of it is growing. Even just like in general, right? Like even playing with friends, like online in general, right? Like I remember for a while, obviously during the pandemic, it was very easy to do so because everyone's stuck at home, right? But
Correct.
before that, how often like am I actually like hopping onto like I'll roll it back even further, like League of Legends or Apex or Counter Strike, even Destiny, right? Like we would pre-pandemic, it's hard for us to get all together sometimes. We would just like end up playing like by ourselves, and then if we got lucky, we have like a weekend to play together, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's just, again, growing up, like life sucks, but
Hmm.
but I'm glad at least we're trying our best here to at least try to still enjoy doing this stuff outside of just grinding our solo shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and you know what too? I'm glad that it looks like so like our friend Tim and I have been playing WoW to World of Warcraft Classic together
I saw, and it seems like you
quite a
guys
bit.
enjoy it again.
Yeah, and so, obviously Holy Paladin's the only thing I've ever really been good at in
Mm,
life. So for me, obviously it makes sense for me to jump back on. But we've been enjoying that and it's been nice to have somebody to just talk to while you're doing all of this stuff. Like usually WoW was always and Destiny as well. Were always those games that I would like put a podcast on and just chill out and grind, but it's been nice to have someone there to make it more of a social game. And honestly, that kind of leads us into the next segment that you brought up is favorite things that you've been playing this year or watching this year, reading this year that we didn't talk about. And I'll start with WoW Classic. It's been great getting back into Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath was a tentpole sort of my gaming life, right?
hmm
I played a lot of WoW prior to that. Wrath is kind of when I think everything kind of came together for me as a player in that game. It was where I was my most successful, and it's great memories, and I'm happy that I'm able to kind of share that again in a legitimate sense. Obviously there are other ways to play Wrath of the Lich King World of Warcraft, but when for whatever reason now that the Blizzard's got it, it kind of feels a little bit more legitimate
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it feels a lot more fun. You know, obviously I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel this year. The other game I played a lot of up until kind of recently was Lost Ark, and I
Oh
grinded
yeah.
the crap out of Lost Ark, and then I don't know, like I had nobody to play with, and I just kind of fell off a cliff with it. But I kind of look at it every couple of days, and I'm like, I should really play this again. I had a lot of fun with this game. It is a very fun top-down sort of dungeon crawler MMO style RPG game, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Diablo-esque, right? Essentially, kind of.
Yeah, basically it's like an MMO version of Diablo, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm sad that I haven't kept up with it because it was a lot of fun.
I'm surprised Tim didn't hop on that too, because Tim's a big Diablo guy. So I'm surprised he ended up playing it with you.
It might just be grindy, or who knows? Might just not be
Maybe
interested.
he can only handle one grindy game at a time. Right? Playing WoW and playing Lost Ark at the same time is just too much. Essentially.
And that's kind of why I'm hesitant too, and especially because he was playing Destiny for so long, because he has family that plays Destiny.
Yeah.
And so if you're gonna play two grindy games, the last thing you want is a third one. And so I get it completely. And that's kind of what it was for me because I was doing this grind basically to try to get to the end game by myself.
Yeah, which is
And
never a great experience, to be fair.
right, because one of our other friends told me, "Oh, hey, I play on this server. We'll play." Never
Oh
played together.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad. Like, I mean, personally, like, I'm glad I don't really have to worry about servers anymore, right? Like, I played Guild Wars 2.
Ah,
The World of Warcraft competitor. You know, I know,
Jesus.
I
I
know.
thought you were in a wheelchair playing Magic. Now you're playing Guild Wars.
Shut up! Shut the hell up!
Jesus
Stop
Christ.
judging me. Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is a great game. Shut up.
Guild Wars is fun, man. No,
Yeah,
Guild Wars is good.
and
I don't mean to diminish Guild
we're
Wars. It
just,
was
I
good.
know we're just it's obviously just the old rivalry of World of Warcraft. If you're either a WoW player or a Guild Wars 2 player, that's basically what it
Eh,
was.
no, I mean I think you could have played both, and I don't dislike Guild Wars. I
Yeah,
just
but
thought it was funny that it's like an
back
ass pull out of fucking nowhere.
back then it was a bit more heated. Absolutely,
It
back then
was.
it was way more
It
heated.
was. And it was a legitimate thing. Like people were leaving WoW for Guild Wars. And
Yeah,
in a world of Final Fantasy 14, now that it's good,
yeah. It's the same thing kind of happened again, right, in the last couple of years.
right, but now Final Fantasy 14 kind of figured it out and
Yeah,
has been a legitimate competitor taking players
from WoW.
from WoW right to Final Fantasy 14. And I think, Guild Wars 2 kind of was the first game to show you legitimately, hey,
There's more than just
someone
WoW.
can do this.
Yeah.
Someone can really do this.
Yeah. But like, what was it? What were you talking about? Oh, the server thing, the servers.
Yeah.
So servers. I remember back then it was a bit of bit of an annoyance to like make sure are we playing on the same server, especially when characters were locked to servers, right? So annoying. But then I also played Terra, and Terra did not have like locked servers. You can just move your character around to a server that's like less populated or whatever. You just have to do it before your session, obviously, right? But yeah, like it's like same thing. It's like just trying to make sure you hopefully haven't started a character on a particular server because you played with one friend, and then you realize another friend is playing on a different server. You're like, I can't move my guy over. I have to start new again, just start the whole thing over.
Right, or I have to pay X amount of dollars.
Pay to do the character transfer. Yeah, exactly. I do not miss that part of the gaming sessions back in the day. I do not miss that part.
For sure. Anything? What have you enjoyed outside of the pod? What games?
Yeah, we'll go by category because I listed a bunch out here, right? So for games for me and played outside of the podcast during COVID, I played Uncharted 4. Like I caught COVID and I was stuck at home and I was like, you know what? I've had this game for a while. My brother like not even gifted it to me. He basically threw it at me and said, "Play this already so we can talk about it." When he visited one day. He's like, shut up, play this. I'm like, sure. And then like he left back to the Navy and then I never played it. So I was like, I knew it was good. It was just like, I just haven't gotten around to it. And I think it's a part of me is like, I love Uncharted, so I didn't want it to be like done, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
So like, I was like, okay, I'll play it. And I played it and I really, really enjoyed it. I basically no-lifed it for like 2 days straight. And I was like, this game is a fantastic send-off to a absolutely fantastic series that I love. And I don't think anybody else in our group really liked Uncharted as much as I do. But like Uncharted 4, fantastic game, and I was so happy that I finally played it. Let's see, the ongoing game for me was Apex Legends. I got really back into Apex this year, and I still play it a little bit, not as much now. My two other friends who I used to squad up with on a regular basis are a little bit busy again. So I'm playing solo again, and again playing Apex, battle royale solo with two randos is not as fun as playing with your friends, right? Not having that squad to play together is, you lose a little bit of communication. You have to kind of play more of like a lone wolf play style, which is, if you're not good, it doesn't hold up. And I am not that good, so it does not hold up when I play solo like that. I am absolutely a like silver scrub or gold garbage, whichever one you want to call me. I'm essentially at the top of the low tiers. You know what I mean? That's essentially where I'm sitting. And I've been grinding it a little bit, and again, it's just the game's unfortunately getting a little bit stale. Unfortunately, Respawn is still under the grip of EA, and I think that because of that, they're not able to develop the game or work on the game in the way that they would like to. This is all assumption, and I just want Apex Legends in a deathmatch mode. Just give me I don't care if it's essentially Titanfall light. Just give me Apex with but a deathmatch. And this game right here, I got back into it again because I got a Steam Deck and Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a 2D platformer Metroidvania-ish type of game where you you use a sword or a bow and two gadgets or whatever, and you basically just slash your way through, find an exit, and move to the next level. It's another roguelike. It has become like one of my favorite games to play. If I have like half an hour to play, right, I can just have like a good run and progress it, or win a run and then like cool start another one over later on. It's like my favorite pick up and go game now. That's what I've been playing a lot of outside of the podcast this year.
Gotcha. Movies. I'm trying to think of anything that came out in 2022 that I really enjoyed. I'm at a loss. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to go see Dragon Ball Superhero like an idiot.
I mean, even if it didn't come out in 2022, let's just say that movies you watched this year for the first time. Let's do that.
So I actually watched the Snyder Cut, and that was fantastic. It's heartbreaking to see what James Gunn is doing to the DCEU.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, he knows, he has an idea of what he's doing, I think. But it just sucks.
Yeah, James Gunn, it's weird, right? Because I like what he does sometimes.
Right.
It's like I don't know if it's like not enough control or too much control. That's the issue, right? I don't know what it is.
I know it's weird, but like I said, I think he knows what he's doing. Also, it means Henry Cavill's going to do more Warhammer stuff apparently, and
Oh,
that
that's
sounds
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cavill. I like him a lot.
Yeah, and I also like Warhammer, and I know he really likes Warhammer, so that's always good when you get a guy who loves the character, kind of
Who
like Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool.
Yeah, who actually likes the stuff that they're actually participating in. Like
Right.
because Cavill's a big nerd, right?
Yeah, huge nerd.
I've watched so many videos of him. Like he's a big WoW player, right?
Yeah, he played World of
Yeah,
Warcraft. He loves Warhammer. He loves there's something else that he's really into.
but like because I remember watching all the interviews of like it's always like these like edited interviews, right? But he starts talking about like playing World of Warcraft or whatever, and then like whoever is the other co-star of the movie he's in playfully roll their eyes like, oh, here he goes again. He's gonna talk about video games again, and it's just like you usually hear him nerd out for a couple minutes during an interview. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, oh, this guy's actually a nerd. This guy's actually a gamer. Like he's all about this stuff. That's awesome.
For sure. Yeah, so I think that's like the big movie that I've seen. And as far as like shows are concerned, watching things, I've been it sucks and kill me for being a normie here, but I've been watching a lot more sports this year than I have in a long
That's
time.
fine. You enjoy sports. You
Yeah,
enjoyed watching sports your entire life. Just enjoy what you
yeah,
like.
more football, way more hockey. It's on a network that actually is like good. It's not on NBC
Knows how to
anymore.
produce it, right? Exactly. That's
Yeah,
a big thing.
more basketball and more soccer too. Even like the World Cup aside, like I've been watching a lot more soccer this year than I have in the past, and it's been fun to really dig into sports in a way that I haven't in a long time.
Did you go to a game
So,
this year with Mike and Steve?
nope, I didn't go to anything this year. I
Mm.
should have. I should have gone to an Eagles game. I should have gone to a hockey game. I didn't do either. Should have gone to an MLS match. Didn't do that. Maybe next year. Who
Well, I mean,
knows?
you can always skip out of the Eagles game. That's fine. But
Eh, my wallet thanked me for that. I will
there you
tell
go.
you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the trip down there is always kind of nice, right? I like going down to Philly. I'm not a big fan of the Philly teams or the Philly fans, but
Oh,
you're an exception. We're friends.
they're nice. Leave them alone.
I'm the typical New Jersey, like New Jersey. I like my Yankees. I like my Giants. Well, I was a Nets. I was a Nets fan. That's like the one outlier for me. I'm a Mavericks fan, Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
Mainly because I was a Jason Kidd fan. That's why I followed
Hmm.
him over, and I was like him playing with Dirk. I was like, it's not a bad team to root for, and luckily I got in there before they won the
The title,
championship.
so yeah,
So
you can claim it.
I can claim that I'm not just a typical bandwagoner. There were a lot of those that year. That was
Mhm.
exhausting exhausting to deal with. Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's you get into more sports stuff. I unfortunately have not been into any sports stuff at all this year.
Right. I mean,
so I- so
unless
I
you're
don't really-
watching cricket or like Ethiopian soccer or something,
Yeah,
there's not a lot of live entertainment for you, unfortunately.
yeah.
But what have you been watching, movies and show wise, anyway?
Movie wise, okay. So if I talk about specifically this year, movie wise, I watched Uncharted 4. Surprisingly, did not hate it. It's Uncharted 4, the Uncharted movie.
Hmm.
Didn't hate it. It's weird because it's not a good movie, but I didn't hate. But I didn't hate it. Jackass Forever came out this year.
I did watch a little bit of that. I
I
didn't finish it. I need to.
I watched Jackass Forever in the theater, right? And I was the only person in that theater, and it was great because I could just laugh my
yes.
ass off by myself. Fantastic. I loved it. Jackass is I love slapstick physical comedy, right? We'll call it slapstick, right? Because it's kind of this extreme form of slapstick comedy, right? Fucking funny. I love that shit. Just them doing dumb shit, and like are they all old? Yes. Are the stunts still kind of outlandish? Absolutely. I love watching that shit because they have a chemistry, right? Those guys have been around doing this shit forever, so that was really really great for me to see it in theaters.
For sure.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I know a lot of people did not like this movie. I love this movie, dude.
Oh, I did watch that. It was great.
Having Raimi do like a campy horror style movie for Doctor Strange and making Wanda the goddamn like horror monster, horror villain. Yo, I love this shit. I think a lot of people came into this movie not expecting like a Raimi film. That's on them. That's their fault. I loved that movie. And in my opinion, the better multiverse movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, came out this year as well too. And I watched that. I watched that recently, like 2 months ago. Fantastic movie, Jeff. I think you would actually really enjoy that one. Just watch that one. We'll just talk about that one offline. I don't care. I just want to talk about this.
What is this called? Hold
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Yeah, you have a tab open, right? Look that shit up. It came out around, like, I want to say around the same time as Doctor Strange, and basically everyone was just saying that was the better multiverse movie.
Huh.
And I'm pretty sure
I've never heard of this.
Really? Yeah, it was kind of weird because it got promoted, but obviously getting drowned out by, you're getting drowned out by Disney. So come on now.
True.
But yeah, it's a really, really good movie. Fantastically shot. I don't want to talk. I don't want to say anything about it because it is one of those movies you don't want to spoil for anybody. But I can literally just say it's just a very, very good multiverse movie.
I'm laughing simultaneously at the presence of Randy Newman as a voice in this movie, thinking about the Family Guy skit where they have the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And the guy from Dodgeball that calls everybody Round Eyes is in this too. And that's really funny to me.
I think I rented this one again. So I rented it like a month or two ago, right? On YouTube or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. It was whatever distribution thing it's on, right? You can rent it. And shows, I want to say, yeah, we'll bundle the movie and the show section together, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So shows that I watched a lot of this year, JoJo's. I watched a lot of JoJo's this year.
Hell yeah.
I technically started it at the end of last year, but then I watched literally all of half of season 1, all the way until part 5, and then I watched all of season 6 recently, or part 6. Sorry, I keep calling part 6. Sorry.
Close enough.
Yeah, but JoJo, fantastic. It was a really good watch. Season 2 had some like draggy. No, part 3 had some drag parts in it. Wait, part 3, part 2.
Part 3 is Stardust. Part 2 is
Part 2 is so part 3. Like part 3 was just like there were just some fights that didn't need to be in there. It just went on way too long. It's fine, whatever. It's still overall a good experience. Super Crooks I watched this year, which is very, very good. That's a Netflix anime. Watch that one. That one's actually a comic. There's a comic made by a European dude, I think, animated by a Japanese studio. A lot going on there, I know, but like it's based in like San Francisco. I think it's like the original setting of it. So yeah, Super Crooks is really good. Watch that one. Agretsuko, I caught up on season 3 and season 4 this year. Arcane, I watched it super late. I know it didn't come out this year, but I finally watched it. I'm a reformed League of Legends player. So is Jeff.
Yeah.
And I have been like nothing but like I've spammed the chat a couple times like please watch Arcane, please watch Arcane, please watch Arcane. No one's done it. So I'm annoyed, but it's genuinely really, really good. And you don't have to be a League of Legends fan to enjoy it. Just watch it. There's a really, really good story. The animation's fantastic. They're very, very cool style to it. But yeah, Arcane's really, really, really fun. I'm not even making an episode just to force you to watch it.
That's fine. Don't twist my arm, please.
Let's see. Spy Family came out this year, which I'm very happy about. That was a manga that I've been reading before it got really, really massive. So I'm happy the anime came out this year and it looks really, really good. Same with Chainsaw Man. I've been talking about Chainsaw Man for what, like a year and a half now?
Yeah.
And saying, hey, this is gonna come out. It got announced. It's gonna come out, and it finally came out, and it's been very fun to watch. I very so much enjoyed it.
I know. It's right up my alley. I need to watch it.
Yeah, just hyper violent, good stuff. Call of the Night is another one that I watched recently. I watched this one because I was reading the manga, and I'm a fan of this mangaka's previous work, Dagashi Kashi. It's very much so like an art style that I really, really enjoy. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That's a surprise for me this year. Because we all know how about the amazing launch of Cyberpunk as a video game. Edge Runners kind of gave the game like a second, like a second chance, right? It came out. It's a really, really good anime. It's animated by Trigger, which is awesome. I love Studio Trigger. People came back to the game, and apparently the game is in a good spot now. So I'm like, maybe I should.
It is.
I should probably try it again now that the game is much more fixed than before. And last one here, strange one here, honestly, for me. But I read the manga for this one, and I was actually very happy that it got a anime. Miss Sachiku and the Little Baby Ghost. This is literally just
get the fuck out of here.
It is a pure palate cleanser like anime. It is just an overworked office lady and this like little lolly ghost who's very cute, who's just trying to help her out and make her feel happy. And that's all it is. It's very cute and wholesome. I love this. I love this as a pure palate cleanser anime. Nothing happens in it. Absolutely nothing. It's just very cute.
All right. Did you read any books or anything, or do you have any gadgets you want to talk about? Because those are the last two things on this list.
Let's see. Books and reading. I read a lot of manga again this year.
I didn't read shit.
I got back into a lot of manga recently. Again, Call of the Night I was talking about before. Dagashi Kashi was the previous work, so I started rereading it. 3 Days of Happiness is a really good manga. Kind of sad and kind of like introspective, but really good. I finally read The Batman Who Laughs this year.
Mm,
That's the Batman who basically kind of transforms into the Joker. I'm pretty sure everyone
yep.
kind of knows that. I don't think that's a spoiler or anything, but
No.
but good read. Holy shit! The art in that one's fantastic. I love Batman. I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't read it when it first came out, because like when I finally read it, like no one wanted to talk to me about it. It's like
Oh,
they've
I'm
all
sorry.
kind of moved on. Let's see. I actually read. I'm actually reading 2 books right now, which is funny because in our group, I'm the one who doesn't read. It's kind of
Right.
been like an ongoing meme.
TLDR.
Stay True, a memoir. It's kind of sad. It's a memoir about a guy's friend essentially, and it's very it's pretty emotional, but it's very good. I need to pick it up and finish it. Bridge to the Sun. It's a story. It's the story of Japanese Americans who fought in World War II. That was a nonfiction, and that one's good. I just need to finish that one off. I'm about like a third left of that book. Yeah, let me wrap off my thing, and then we do yours, I guess. For gadget and gear, Steam Deck, baby, Steam Deck. Love this
Rub it in.
fucking thing. I
Rub it in.
fucking love this thing, dude. This thing is amazing. Again, like this thing is essentially replaced my Switch. The Switch is essentially just like an exclusive machine only now. Like I used to buy indie games twice. Once on Steam, once on the Switch where I can take it on the go. Now I don't need to do that shit anymore. But like the Steam Deck is fantastic. It just lets me play my library everywhere I want to go. It's great.
I watched the whole Game Awards to try to win one, and
Yeah.
I didn't win one.
That's
I'm
so
very
sad.
upset.
Yeah, but at least you got to see a Bill Clinton kid, right?
I did, that is true. And I got to see the Warhammer games, and I got to see Street Fighter and Diablo. So, but
Yeah.
we'll talk more about that in a little bit here.
Last 2 things here. I bought a new 2DS XL this year. Not a new one, but like the upgraded model, right? I bought the Legend of Zelda, the Hylian Shield one, which is really cool. I bought that before the price jumped up on those again. And then my last gadget of this year that I really enjoyed, my Kosori hot water kettle.
There you go. What a responsible choice.
I can make tea in my room now. This is so nice. I don't have to go downstairs and boil water anymore.
Hmm.
Probably the best $25 purchase I've made this entire year. What about you? Any gadgets or gear that you found this year that you really enjoyed?
So I will just say that I the only thing I read was the Dragon Ball Super manga as far
Mm.
as like literature is concerned. That's really about all I did. I will go on a little bit of a tangent here, and that I read a lot of The Athletic, which is a paid sports journalism website.
Mm.
And with so much going on
Was
with
it
journalism in
the
the world,
Athletic?
yeah, theathletic.com, and it's paywalled stuff, and I know how people feel about paywalled news. And
But I mean, if it's good information, then I would pay for it
it
gladly.
is. It's worth it. It's great content, and it's worth every dollar, and it goes to good, respectable journalists. So if you want high quality sports news and features, I can't possibly think of a better investment than supporting the Athletic. Say what you will about your local papers and supporting the people that work there, and if you read your local papers, definitely go for it. For me, the two teams that I care the most about are in Philadelphia and Anaheim, California. So for me, it doesn't really make sense to support the Star Ledger in New Jersey when I'm not really actively reading it. I know that sounds a little selfish, but it is what it is. If you feel passionate about news and journalism, though, definitely support these papers, because the problem is that so many other news outlets are out here, greatnews.xyz, and your Uncle Gary and your Grandma Susan are sharing these sites that aren't reputable. They're pushing false narratives. Say what you will, but they're not. Most of them are not based in facts. They're based in theories, and it's causing a dilemma across the nation. So please support local journalism. I don't have anything else cool but that.
Well, what you need to do is then buy a hot water kettle or an air fryer. That'll be a cool gadget for the year.
Yeah, no, we got the air fryer in 2021, which
Oh, there you
sucks.
go.
I'm trying to think what do I have here? I bought a new chair. Does that count?
That's gears, gamer gear. You bought.
Yeah. What kind of chair is this? Hang on, let
I
me
mean,
look.
because we built your PC last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that wouldn't even count for that cutoff, unfortunately.
I bought an Emerge gaming chair, and this thing's
Mm,
been great for my ass.
that's awesome. That's good to hear. Because you
Yeah.
were complaining about your previous chair being like just so
Yeah,
uncomfortable
no.
for your back.
It was really lumpy and really bad. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that I ended up upgrading here.
Again, investing in
All
a chair
right.
is always good.
Let's go into the games you've played the most. So I think we've all kind of touched on this. I have definitely touched on this. I have played a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I've played a ton of Lost Ark, a lot of World of Warcraft. No surprise here. A lot of grindy, repetitive games. But hey, that's what I'm into. That's what helps me kind of chill out.
Yeah, because
Um,
you can like do it and like not I guess not have to actively think about it because you've done it for so long, right?
right. Especially like the single player games. And with Master Duel, it's helpful because it does it. It's a way to scratch that competitive itch
You like
that fighting games
you
used
like
to give
yeah you
me.
like dumpstering on people. That's a big thing for you. I know that as well.
I guess, but I mean, it just kind of comes to the territory every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it scratches that itch that fighting games always gave me. But
Mm.
it's kind of difficult to play fighting games the way that I want to play them. Read with an arcade stick in when you're living with someone, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
they might not appreciate the loud buttons and things like that. At least with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's mouse clicks and it's watching them, do their whole combo and trying to interact while that's going on. So it's a much more quiet experience. But
Hmm.
for me, that's kind of where I was. I'm wondering what you would consider your most played games this year.
I actually ended up just doing the whole like just look through my Steam and most hours played type of deal. For me this year, Apex, no surprise there.
Hmm.
Destiny 2, no surprise there. We played a lot of Witch Queen. Slay the Spire, no surprise there. That is still one of my
Hmm.
favorite roguelike games. This year for me was Project. The new stuff I guess that comes to this list for me was Project Zomboid, which is like an isometric zombie survival game. Vampire Survivors, which came out this year, which is amazing. It's essentially like a one stick shooter. It essentially like kind of created its own genre because of it. You should check that one out, actually, Jeff.
Hmm.
It's like $3. Like you should just buy it on Steam. It's fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
Holocure, which is a Hololive's like it's a fan made Hololive game that is very similar in the same vein as Vampire Survivors. It's a one stick shooter essentially. Again, I love YouTubers. I will
Hmm.
refuse to stop talking about my love for them. Peglin. I play a lot of this year, surprisingly. Peglin is a Peggle roguelike where you play as a goblin.
Huh.
Yeah, you kind of just build a deck full of like rocks you throw at enemies, basically. Like certain rocks have different abilities. Maybe we make that an episode. It's a really fun game. And very strange, I guess, for me, I guess, considering the games I just mentioned, except for Apex, I guess. Escape from Tarkov.
Hell yeah.
It is I'm sure if listeners, if you don't know what it is, I'm assuming a lot of you do. It is a hardcore looter shooter. Essentially, you have to worry about like hunger and radiation levels and injuries, and it's an insane level of customization in terms of like firearms. Like you can't put on certain sights or scopes onto certain guns unless you have the proper platforms for them. Kind of like what COD, from what I'm hearing, COD Modern Warfare 2 is doing now, which is kind of cool and kind of weird, I guess, because COD kind of caters to the casual arcadey player, right? But it's
I
cool. I guess
guess.
I guess they're trying to add a little bit more depth to their guns, which is good for them, I guess. And let's see if more people end up moving away from the easy shooter. Yeah, I'll call it easy. Whatever. I'll shit on COD all day. The easy shooter that COD is basically. But yeah, those are my games. Those are the games that I played the most of this year.
For sure. Biggest surprise is something you have here. So something that you may have stumbled upon or been recommended, and you didn't really expect anything from it, but you really ended up enjoying. So I'll let you go first there.
So I mentioned it earlier in the movies category, Uncharted.
Hmm.
Hear me out. If they just didn't call it Uncharted, it would just be like a B action movie,
Hmm.
which is weird to say because you have Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in it, right? Those are big names. And again, if you just didn't call it Uncharted, it would basically just be like a it feels like kind of like a knockoff Indiana Jones. That's basically what it feels like. And to be fair, that's kind of what the Uncharted games are. They're essentially just the Indiana Jones games.
Hmm.
And Bullet Train. I watched this like 2 weeks ago. It's just like a bunch of dumb, highly stylized action. It's just a think John Wick, but absurd. That's it.
Right.
That's kind of like what it felt like to me, but it's more like everyone is kind of killing each other kind of deal. Yeah, it's a fun turn your brain off movie that I again I was like, it's on Netflix. I thought it was gonna. I didn't know anything about it. It looked kind of cheesy, and I actually happened to really enjoy it. So I was like, why not? I'll throw that on. Why not?
Good.
How about you?
So I'm gonna use this time to again put over Katana Zero. I didn't think I was. I knew I was gonna like it. I didn't think I was gonna like love it. Right.
Word. Okay.
Or I didn't expect that to love it as much as I ended up loving it. The other thing I will say too is Lost Ark. I knew I was gonna like it because it had all the makings of something that I'd really enjoy. I didn't know I was going to, 100 hours worth of gameplay in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Enjoy this game and really sink into it and really enjoy it. So those are the two that I'll say that I really kind of surprised me. Like I knew I was going to like them, but I didn't think I was going to get into them the way that I did.
You were expecting to like love them basically as much as like you actually ended up like really
Right. Like I
enjoying
knew
the
I
hell
was
out
going
of
to like it. I knew Katana Zero was right up my alley. It has great music, it has great gameplay, it has a guy with a sword and lots of blood, right? I knew it was going to be up my alley. I didn't think it was going to be that great, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna like blow my mind, and I was gonna sit there and basically beat the game in like 2 or 3 sessions.
It's awesome.
Same thing with Lost Ark. Like I didn't expect to get super duper into this game, really enjoy it, and play it for 100 hours over a couple of months. One thing you'd recommend to the audience.
What about you? You start for this one.
One thing I'd recommend to the audience. Is it a cop out if I just say play and do what you like?
No, honestly,
You know what I
no.
mean? Life's too short to play things you don't like playing. So the next time you go to Doom Q in Call of Duty or any other competitive game or anything that you have to do that you don't like doing, don't do it. Fuck it. Life's too short.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know that's all I have to say. My interests are so niche that it's just like, damn, like I can't even. I'm like looking at my games library. My Steam is crashing. I don't know what is happening.
Everything's going wrong.
Yeah, everything's just going haywire right now. I'm really trying to find something that I could just say, play this. But in reality, man, just do what you love. Life's too short.
Let's see. I guess something that I recommend or Peaky Blinders.
There you go.
Man, I like no life this show at work, and damn, this show is good. It's Cillian Murphy, right? He plays the main character Thomas Shelby in it, and it's a British show, right? They're in Birmingham, and they talk. Everyone has accents in it. Some accents are very very thick. It is a little hard to understand if you don't understand European accents very well, like the UK accents very well. Luckily, I watched a lot of content creators who are British, so like I can actually understand them pretty good. Damn, it's a good show. It's a really really good show. And Peaky Blinders, so it's on season 6 right now. And from my understanding, it's not getting a season 7, but they are going to be doing a movie that essentially will be the wrap up of it.
That's cool.
That's from my so it's weird because so Peaky Blinders season 6 was essentially like partially derailed because of the death of one of the actors.
Okay.
It was Helen McCrory, I think is her name, I believe. Helen McCrory. I just looked it up. She's Polly Gray, who was a main character in this show, and unfortunately she passed away in April 2021. So they essentially had to rewrite like series 6, the season 6 of it basically. So they found a way to tastefully add her character still into the show, and they essentially wrote her out. Season 6 is really really good, and that's the one that I just finished up recently. And so now I'm just waiting for the future of it. Again, they said they're trying to do like a feature length movie in place of a 7th series essentially. No production date or anything, but they're hoping 2024. So that's cool. I've been waiting for that one. Again, just watch Peaky Blinders. Very, very good. I know I made a lot of memes about it to our group, like this with this bad with this bad British, which I'm
And
not.
this Tuesday or whatever.
I'm just gonna do it just because I'm sorry. I'm sorry, UK listeners, for this. What you know about them Peaky Blinders? I'm not proud of it. It's not a good impression. I acknowledge it, but for some reason our friend group loves it.
Because it's really funny.
It's really funny, but it's just not. It's not a good accent.
That's
But
okay. It doesn't have to be good to be
yeah,
funny.
but it's a good show, and I really enjoyed that one this year. And Arcane, everyone watch Arcane.
There you go.
Fucking love Arcane. God damn it.
Okay. Now, what are we looking forward to in 2023?
2020.
I have 3 right off the top of my head
You got?
because
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, go
Obviously,
first then. Go first.
Obviously, Street Fighter 6.
Yes,
It's gonna be.
I'm knocking that off my list then because I was gonna say the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think with everything, I still haven't gotten into a beta playtest,
Yeah,
so I'm a little salty, but I'm still gonna play the shit out of this game. It looks really great. It looks like they took a lot of the criticisms from 5 and 4 to heart. They have completely bolstered the single player experience. They've done a really great job with everything as far as I can tell, and it looks like it's going to be a really special game, and that's very exciting to me. Anything that you want to talk about Street Fighter 6?
who's that French chick? I want to play her. Manon.
Yeah, you could. I mean, honestly, anybody outside of Ryu, and I haven't seen Balrog, I haven't seen Alex, I haven't seen Zangief. I don't think,
Yeah,
even though
like so like they.
know.
It's weird. Like we've seen some of the staples, right? We've seen Chun Li. We've seen Ryu. Did they show Ken yet?
Yeah, so
They should kind of think it was right in the
basically
animatic.
everybody's around except for. I know I'm pretty sure Zangief was in like the leaked documents, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be around.
Yeah,
But like I haven't seen the 4 Kings. I haven't seen the Super Street Fighter 2 characters. I don't think you're going to see Fei Long anytime soon. Well, we saw DJ, we know Cammy's in it. I don't think I haven't seen T-Hawk.
I'm
I might be the only person looking for T-Hawk. I want El Fuerte and Hakan back. That's all I want.
I want Abel.
Yeah,
But
right. Like
I just know I'm not gonna. I'm probably just not gonna never gonna get him back, unfortunately.
yeah.
I'm actually like I know that the new characters that I've seen so far, but I'm looking forward to like Marisa and Menon because Marisa looks like a grappler kind of. So I'm like, if she kind of fills that same kind of role as like a brawler grappler that Abel kind of fits into, I think she's probably gonna be in my wheelhouse. And
Got it. I think she will.
yeah, and then Menon is just because she does like ballet, and it just kind of like it's kind of like not goofy, but like it's not hyper serious, right? So I kind of like want it to be like super stylized. Who's the new Shinobi character? The
Kimberly.
Kimberly, the cute black chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like yo, her style is dope. Like I just like watched the little like is it a trailer I guess, or is it like when they show her fighting, just essentially just like showing off her moveset?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks super cool, and like the fact that she busts out the spray cans, yo, she looks sick. I'm actually looking forward to trying her out too.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little something for everybody, and that's what's really exciting about the game. And it's under new leadership. Ono is out. Unfortunately, it just didn't end up working out for him during Street Fighter V, which had a really tenuous
Yeah,
sort of start and
weird run.
go through things. So it looks like it's going to be under some new direction, and that seems to be paying off really well. I've heard nothing but good things from the individuals that have gotten into the game, and so that's super exciting for me as somebody who's loved this series since day one. And I really can't wait for this game. I'm going to make time to play Street Fighter 6 moving forward here.
It's awesome.
The next one that releases 4 freaking days later is Diablo 4. I know we're not supposed to support Activision Blizzard, and look, that situation there with the sexual harassment is a no go.
No,
That shit sucks.
all the other terrible bullshit that goes on in that company, unfortunately.
Yeah, like that
but
shit
like,
fucking sucks,
hey man, there are that's on specifically them. Don't. It's weird, right? Like I still support the games because I like supporting the people who are actually making the games.
Right. And I see, I follow Activision Blizzard on LinkedIn, and I see so many of these great people that are a part of this game that are working so hard on this game. And for me, it's like I'm doing those people a disservice, even though I know a lot of the shitheads are getting paid for this. I'm doing them a disservice by not enjoying the work that they put into this. So that's kind of the way that I'm. It might be stupid, it might be wrong, but that's kind of the way I'm justifying it. It's like I look at all
No,
these
I get it. Absolutely get
direction.
it.
I look at all these great storytellers that work for Activision Blizzard, and I want to support them. And I know I can't really do that without supporting the shitheads, but if I don't, then those people don't get fed. Neither of them get money. So I'd rather give them both money than not give either of them money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. Absolutely.
And
I'm very much on the same boat as you are.
yeah, that being said, Diablo 4 looks fucking
It
sick.
does look really good. Again, I haven't played a
I'm
Diablo
very
game in a
excited.
while, but it does look pretty good to actually play again.
hmm so that might put a little damper in the Lost getting back into Lost Ark,
Yeah.
but the thing that does help it is that I'm not paying $70 for a video game, so
Yeah,
it might be a little while before I get into Diablo 4.
that's fair.
And
Absolutely.
last but not least is going to be the Warhammer games that are coming out.
Mm.
We've had a ton of Warhammer come out. I picked up a few. I'm waiting for Dark Tide, the latest Warhammer game, to kind of go down in price a little bit before I scoop it up. But Warhammer, I love that aesthetic, and I love that there are so many different games. The newest Space Marine game looks right up my alley. It's just a lot of blood, a lot of gore, and a lot of guys that call themselves paladins. So that's pretty cool to me, pal.
Yeah, as long as you hear the word paladin, you're basically in. I get it.
Yeah.
But absolutely. Again, like I'm kind of in the same boat with Warhammer. Like I think for me, I've kind of fallen more into the tabletop side of it. I would like to get into it, but I just know it's expensive to get into it, and there's a lot to learn early on. But the games are at least much easier for you to get into, especially because they're kind of more. Because like, isn't the recent one Dark Tide, right? Uh,
Right,
from
that's the newest
Yeah,
one.
from what I heard, basically it's like it kind of feels like Left 4 Dead, but with with like with swords and shit. And I'm just like, sure, why not? That sounds like something I'm into. I mean, I really don't know for sure, but like, it's weird because I've heard it's very much so in my wheelhouse type of deal. A lot of goopy enemies to just murder through. So I'm just like, yeah, sure, why not? That sounds like something we'd
That's
actually really enjoy playing.
basically, yeah, that's basically what Warhammer is built on. And man, like it's just such a cool aesthetic, and there's just so much of it
Yeah,
that it's a little daunting to try to get into.
yeah, absolutely.
But I do like. I saw that trailer during the Game Awards, and I'm like, all right, man, this looks awesome. I gotta scoop this.
Word, yeah, absolutely.
So, anything else on your docket that you're excited for?
Upcoming things that I'm excited for. John Wick 4. We mentioned number 4.
Yeah, that is true. That's a
Woo!
good one.
Next year, baby. Next year. We're close. We're getting close. Vinland Saga season 2. I've been watching Vinland Saga season. I just finished watching Vinland Saga season 1 actually on Netflix. I held off on it. I don't know why. I think it's just I think I was just reading a lot of manga at the time. So like when I finally got around to
Mhm.
the anime, I just started watching it. Oh, it's actually pretty good. English dub is not my favorite, but
Mm.
it's serviceable, right? I'm more of a sub watcher anyway. But the issue is it's based in like around like the Danes and like Welsh people and like Englishmen. So it's weird to watch it in Japanese. Uh,
Okay.
and the thing is, they just pick mostly like American voices, unfortunately, for the voice acting for that one. So it just doesn't. You don't get as immersed in it. But I mean,
That is weird.
either way, but the animation is very good, and I like the story so far. So I'm looking forward to season 2. Comes out next year, I believe. Ooh, this is a game that I tried at PAX, and I think I mentioned it to you before because you've been dodging me for a while now. But there's a game called Swap at Showdown, which is basically Tetris Attack or Pokemon Puzzle League.
Oh,
And
all right. Yeah.
yeah, so this is basically Pokemon Puzzle League or Tetris Attack or whatever you want to call it, paneled upon with the garbage blocks and powers.
Sweet.
So I tried it at PAX. It's a small indie game. Very it's like I think it was like a relatively small developer. It's just at a random booth, and I remember they were like, "Here's 4 players. Go ahead and try it out." And I dumpstered the 3 other people we were playing with, and like somebody like saw it and they were like, "Who's player 1?" And I'm like, "Yo," just there's like, okay, so you play these all, don't you? I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And I was like, "Can you do certain things that like can you do like lag switching, right? Like essentially it's like if you can switch blocks while the row of ones you just cleared are
Yeah.
breaking, right? So you can catch things technically while it's happening and kind of like delay and catch things and create combos in the air where they usually wouldn't be able to do so. I was trying to do that, and they were like, no, not yet. We're still trying to we're still trying to like flesh out the rest of the game. But apparently, it's coming out next year. So looking forward to that one. I'm excited to we have more basically Pokemon Puzzle League or Panel to Pond to play now, which is good. And this is a weird thing. I know a lot of people are not looking forward to this movie, but the Mario movie.
Well, it's either going to be good and a nice shot of serotonin, happy chemicals to the brain,
Yeah,
playing on your nostalgia, or it's going to be an awesome dumpster fire that cascades through the sky.
yeah. So like, I'm actually looking forward to the Mario movie. It genuinely looks like. Well, first off, Peach looks badass in it, right? It looks like she's the capable princess, basically, right? Well,
Right.
Mario's kind of like the fish out of water, from what it looks like in the trailer so far.
Hmm.
Which is like, it's cool, it's fine, why not? Jack Black's kind of killing it as Bowser. I'm just gonna say this right now. I actually like when I watched that first trailer, or yeah, the first trailer. I was like, I'm in. Like just hearing Jack Black being Bowser, I was like, I'm in. This is great. This looks pretty. It actually looks pretty good. I'm genuinely excited for it. One more thing I have here. I have a bunch of things here, but I think I'll just shorten down to the ones that I'm really looking forward to this year. Oshi no Ko, which is is getting an anime. It's a weird story. Uh, an idol, like a Japanese like idol, like singer, star, dancer lady.
Hmm.
She gets pregnant. She goes to a doctor. The doctor gets into an accident. He essentially is reborn as the idol's son, and so is another person who is a fan of her gets reborn as her daughter. And basically, the idol gets like as a mother gets killed, and then they both spend their life essentially, or they both try to find out who did it.
Huh.
It's weird, but it's genuinely. I really enjoyed. I'm enjoying reading the manga. So the fact that it's getting an anime, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Why not? That's gonna be a bit of a weird one, but I'm looking forward to that one for next year. But yeah.
For sure. I do have one more I want to add because
Ooh,
I forgot
okay.
about it. It's another Capcom game,
Oh,
and it's a game called Exoprimal, and it's basically a
Exoprimal.
spaceman shooter where you instead of shooting anything like else, you shoot dinosaurs, and it's like they made a game for me.
Exoprime. Looking it up on Steam right now. 1 second.
Yeah, spaceman shooter with dinosaurs.
Online team-based action game that pits humanity's cutting edge execute technology against dinosaurs. What the fuck is this?
Look, it's like they made a game for me. I'm telling you, they made it for me.
This looks absolutely insane. What the fuck is this?
I'm telling you, they made it for me. Somebody at Capcom made a game. They were like, "This is Jeff's game, and we're just gonna release it."
This looks
If any, if
this looks a
hmm,
little bit like Dino Crisis, which was the one in space. Dino Crisis 4.
I don't know, you could tell me it's Dino Crisis 12, and I believe you.
I mean,
But
it looks like it's weird because it looks kind of cool because like it has like it it reminds me of, like Vanquished almost. You know what I mean? With like the
hmm,
hyper mechanical looking bodysuits and stuff like that, and like the big old digital shields from what it looks like. You know, for the character, this like tank-ish looking dude, I guess. Looks like a rogue. Looks like a rogue with a bunch of blades over here, and then a
hmm,
gunner character. Yeah. Oh,
no,
I'd be down to try this out with you. Absolutely.
I was gonna say you're gonna own it anyway because we share a Steam library. So it's just a matter of if you have your own copy or if you're just gonna play mine
I mean,
whenever
if we're gonna
you
play,
want to.
it says online team based action game, so it looks like I'm gonna have to get my own copy anyway.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But
I'm down to
uh,
absolutely try this out.
yeah, no, that's the other one that's right up my alley. So look, I think 2022 has been a lot of fun. This has been great to be able to sit down once a week and like hash things out and try some new stuff and play some games and have a little fun every once in a while, right?
Yeah,
So I think for us, we definitely have some goals throughout 2023 to keep this going, right? And to make sure that we're consistent in keeping this going. And we're still a small operation, but we thank you all for listening and wishing you all the best and hoping that you bring some well needed joy and hope that we bring some well needed joy to you folks
yeah. Thanks.
throughout 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, thanks for like genuinely because again we kind of did this like as a passion project type of deal. It's like we just want to talk about stuff, right? And we were like we assumed we'll probably just like enjoy this as like kind of like just doing it ourselves, right? And then
Right.
the fact that like I remember we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, and like you finally showed me our analytics, right? You gave me the login for all of our stuff, and we have listeners from like the UK, Australia, Canada, Philippines. Hey yo, Philippine gang, let's go, let's rise up. But yeah, man, like yo, genuinely like Netherlands, Mexico, Portugal, Sweden. I'm like, yo, thanks for listening to us. Genuinely, like we're just two dudes from New Jersey, kind of just talking about our nerd hobbies and just want to talk about video games and movies and TV shows and stuff. And for real, like genuinely we appreciate the fact that you guys even give us a chance and like listen to our dumb conversations for an hour and hear us talk about stuff that we really enjoy.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you. Please find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram. Lakan does the Instagram, I do the Twitter. So
I'm trying to get better at the Instagram. I'm not a big social media guy anymore, so I will try my best to be a little more active on that as well too.
yeah, I'm also trying to own and operate, two other Twitter accounts. So please forgive me. It's something that I really want to put more time and effort into, and that's the Party XP social accounts and doing more content on on our social channels, on our YouTube page and all that. So please reach out to us. Please let us know that what we're doing is reaching you, so that we keep doing it. And it's not just the two of us just doing it for ourselves, because eventually that runs out, right? But if you know that you have a driver, a motivation, you can channel that into more creative content, more creative stuff, and we'll keep it going. So definitely reach out to us. Thanks for listening, and let's make it an awesome 2023.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and we hope you guys keep listening to us. And again, just reach out to us. We would genuinely appreciate it if you guys just let us know you're out there and still continue to support us. And yeah, we're hoping to do more.
From the bottom of our hearts, want to wish you all a very happy New Year, happy holiday season, all that jazz. And thanks for sticking with us. Here's hoping 2023 is even better than it's been this year already. And it's already been great. We'll see you next year.
See you next year. Here we go. You got the message that I sent you, right?
I did. I thought I didn't get it for a minute, and I was like looking
that
for
thing I sent you.
Please don't. I already stopped myself from going just watching every single episode of that show. I love that show.
I know you do
so much.
I know.